Okay, hi Joan, Declan here from CampusConnect. It was nice to briefly meet yesterday, and as promised, I'm sending you a quick, short overview of the service for sharing with the team. Um, so, as Liam mentioned yesterday, we're working with the UL Global team for the past 5 years, supporting new entrants, new international entrants. We also work with undergrad and postgrad teams in Ireland and the UK. What we do is UL Campus Connect is a bespoke app for UL. Now, this is just a generic app for the purposes of this demo. The UL app in the App Store is branded. It's a bespoke UL. It says the University of Limerick Campus Connect, and it's in the Google Play Store and iOS. The students are invited to join before they start, so during pre-enrollment. When they join, they download and they generate an account. On there, they can personalize their account with, profile image, pick. We can capture key values at this point: their location, their subject area, their start date, their level, where they're from. So that information then is used to segment them if we need to kind of target information to that particular cohort, or if we need to pull them together for groups and so on. And I'll explain that in a second. Typically on the app you have the applicants themselves. There are current students who are mentors, advocates, ambassador type roles. You have staff, and in some cases with postgrad and international we have graduates as well who are feeding back in terms of the job opportunities for a particular program and so on. I don't think it'll be relevant for what you're looking at in terms of the first 7-week program. Once the applicants generate an account, then they get a list of kind of suggested connections based. So if I have psychology, like the student on my profile, I'll be connected with other students other applicants who are also progressing on to that course. So especially in the current climate, students don't have the opportunity to physically meet or to connect with those who they will be studying with. So it's a way for them to start to build a sense of community before they start. This is critical in terms of that sort of sense of belonging, that sense of confidence, and obviously students have a lot of anxiety. So it's a good way to kind of transition them and to pull them in and make them feel like they're part of the university. Then we set up a particular kind of targeted groups. So again, psychology student will have a psychology group, and that's all controlled from the back end, and I'll run through that quickly as well. Now we have two types of groups here. We have peer-led groups. So in a peer-led group like psychology, it's made up of other students who are also studying psychology, so it's an opportunity for them to connect and meet each other. You can also add a current student in there to provide some information and support about the course and to explain to them what's ahead and so on. The other type groups then are staff-led groups, which are more process type things, which could be something like here we've got funding and fee, finance, you can have accommodation, you can have things around the library, you can have all the kind of process administrative type thing that the student has to. The peer-to-peer groups are opportunities for them to talk to current students and ask questions, and also to meet their colleagues. The staff-led groups tend to be very Q&A, so they're process type stuff. They're done in a group, which means you don't have to be responding to each student individually. The students can see the responses for everybody who's in that group. The students can opt in and out of groups, so they can join groups that are relevant and leave, and we can target groups. We can make groups available to everyone. We can make groups available just to psychology students, so we have that opportunity to segment as well. This is just an example of peer-led support, so a current student helping a group of students within the psychology, or a group of applicants, new entrants in psychology, answering questions and so on. So in these spaces there's a lot of subject type queries, which is clear. Then in terms of communication from the university, once the students are engaging in those groups, there's an opportunity then to send out push announcements and comms. This tends to be more around important dates, things not to forget. Please remember, with links you can add video, multimedia, and so on. So it's all there. So in the back end then, and I can actually just jump into the live. So this is the current back end system so this is like the admin panel for the UL Global team. So they have a list of each new student as they register. We get sort of levels of engagement. We can pull out things like number of connections, the groups that they're involved in. We can flag students that are struggling, which is important in terms of conversion, retention, and so on. We can also see the high performing students, which we often put forward for a kind of an advocate or a mentor role for the next cycle. For the UL Global team, we produce a report. Theirs is fortnightly, monthly, I think, at the moment, where we would look at the analytics. We'd produce a small report that has sort of the list of new students who registered, the levels of engagement, particular content that's working. So they get a sort of a sense of how the applicants are doing and how they're actually... So it's all about preparation, onboarding, sending them key information, very effective in terms of communication, moving away from email, and just giving students that sense of community before they start. Now, there's a lot in this admin. I'm not going to go through it. I don't think there's value in me going through it all in detail now. But there's a lot of insight, keywords, etc., that we can get in terms of reporting back and providing more insight into what into kind of gauging the temperature of the incoming cohorts, which is often hard to do for teams. So that's just a quick overview, and I will send this on to you now, and I'll drop some more information in the email. And if you have any more questions, just come back to me. I'm happy to set up perhaps a wider team walkthrough if that's of value, or just if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. So I hope that's useful, and we'll catch up soon.